let's now explain how to put Link into the remote hookshot state. So, target anything that's hookshotable. So I could even do it on that B-mouse actually, but I won't. And in third person, so while holding target and hookshot, press milk bottle, like that. And whenever you're ready to release your hookshot or activate remote hookshot, just press hookshot again. And there you go. So as Link was just yelling and shaking in the air, back to where we shot our hookshot. That's what remote hookshot basically allows us to do. However, if we position this hookshot tip, I'm gonna call it the tip of the hookshot, correctly on that pillar, and we aim again while the hookshot target is making its way to the pillar with the hookshot we already have, we can actually have Link hookshot jump all the way to Stone Tower Temple's entrance. So that will be the application that we use for that trick in all dungeons restricted. Let's now talk about the actual setup for hookshot jump to the top of Stone Tower. So you will go into that corner here, target that wall, then shield turn down right. Then you want to pull out hookshot, and then see if when you go up you can hit the target a bit. If not, that means you're too much to the right, then you want to adjust a bit. So some good shield turns will take you right into the good positions, but I just adjust this way and it works out. So you have a couple of different positions for where the red dot will be when you first pull out hookshot. So you want it between where it's at right now. I think that will work. So barely off the hookshot target. So like this, when you go up, it shows, or you can still see the red dot on the hookshot target. More of it is off it than on it. Off of it than on it. Anyway, English. Come on, okay. So that position will work. And then what you want to do is go and aim with target. However, you want to aim where your hookshot was right before, not at the B-mouse. So what you do for that, let's get the position again. That was a horrible shield turn. Okay, that's better. Is you can either hold up and target or hold down and target, and then you'll have your position. Then hold hookshot and start going up with the camera. So we'll start holding down on the analog stick like that. And you want to go up until you don't see the red dot anymore. So the first position where you don't see the red dot anymore. And you want to look, and another visual cue is that the sword's hilt in blue near at the bottom left of the B button is going to barely touch that square. So there is that darker square below the B button, and it extends into some paler part with like these kind of lines. You want the hilt of the sword to barely touch that. So once you hold that position, so like that. So once you hold that position, you press milk. And that should put you into the remote hookshot state. So while you're in remote hookshot state, really important, you have to avoid damage and also not roll. So if you roll, you will lose the trick. And so in this case, you just wait for the B-mouse to spin away. And now you go on this side of the hookshot target. Then you are going to target the hookshot target. with L or Z, depending on if you're on GameCube, VVC, or N64. Yes, I know Wii U exists. And then you want to align Link between this edge of the hookshot target and this paler line. So you have that darker one. It's darker. There was that darker line in front of Link's face, and there's one that goes up above his head. You want to go for the higher up for the visual cue. So that's a bit too much on the... Well, it's okay, but I'll just go a bit more on the left, and yeah, so that's a good position. And here, depending on where the BMOS is facing, or depending on how Link's head is turning, I think that's based on Link's head turning. Link will try, or Tattle will try to target the BMOS, or tell you can target it. So, yeah. So be careful about that. You don't want to be targeting the BMOS. So then, once you have your position, you're next to the pillar. You want to get your position again, because I screwed up. So once you have your position, you want to buffer a backflip input. So while you're holding L, you will also hold down and buffer an A press. And then let go of L and A. Let go of down and A, not L and A, sorry. Down and A. You can let go of down, keep pressing L, I'm sorry. Okay. And now what you will do is pull out hookshot. I like to wait for 2 frames, so the frame when Link starts putting his hand behind his back is the frame I want to get to. So we'll buffer that. So that's the frame where the hand goes to the right, and the next frame Link is going to put his hand behind his back. So that frame, then hold down, and you want to buffer to a specific frame. So the first frame when the hookshot can be released, that you will hear the hookshot sound, is when you want to let go. So that frame, visually what it looks like, is the second frame where the red dot crosses the darker part of the hookshot target. So that frame here is too low because it'll just hit like the metal and not hook onto it, and it won't latch onto it. It's the frame after that you want to go for, and then release hookshot on this frame. And when Link starts shooting up, hold right. Then here adjust. You can kind of try and make sure you hold towards the tower, and now you're on top of Stone Tower Temple. Stone Tower, not Stone Tower Temple. And then you just, you just jump there, and then just enter Stone Tower. Let's now explain how to do a bow extension. I'll first demonstrate it to you, and then I'll explain what I'm doing. And there you go. So what we did here is we made it so the bow got slightly further in front of Link's head, allowing Link to essentially shoot through walls. So that's the big use for bow extension. We'll use it to flip Stone Tower without Elegy of Emptiness in all dungeons restricted. So that's our motivation for learning it for this part. And the inputs are the following. So you will press L, bow, and then hold down in quick succession. So that'll look like that. Like that. And there you go. You can see you got it when Link's hand is going through the Stone Tower. I guess that Stone Tower's tongue. So that's the tongue. So when it goes through like that, you got it. If you... Oh, well, I still got it. If it's like that, if doesn't make it inside, then you didn't get it. And there you go. And then, just mentioning that, so my setup here to align to shoot that light arrow specifically is I make sure the horizontal, vertical edge created by that block is halfway between the magic meter and the B button that we see on screen. And I align the bottom of the magic bar with that horizontal edge far back. So that would be too high, and that would be too low, but if I adjust it here, then boom, you can flip Stone Tower this way. So that's what we're going to use bow extension for in All Dungeons Restricted. We're not using that in All Dungeons Restricted, but I still want to show you another thing you can do with it. So with bow extension, you can also skip the cutscene for the Gyorg fight. So go here, align with this part of the wall. So that darker line here helps a lot for this. So align with I'd say the right of that dark line actually. It's rather thick. And then do bow extension. Okay, gotta do it fast for it to work. And now align the bottom of the screen with the edge where the wall and the floor meet. So that's too high. And if you're like twisted like that, well, realign and make sure that the bottom of the screen and the edge there are parallel. So align like that. And now we heard Gyorg getting stunned, and that means that you can now just go down and the cutscene won't activate. And that saves, I think like 30 seconds or something, 40, depending on how fast you do it or what method you use. It saves a lot of time. And then you would just start a Gyorg fight in some other categories.